Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Welcome back to our economics series. So far, we have introduced economics, which includes scarcity, choice, opportunity cost, models, micro versus macro. Then we covered key terms in microeconomics like demand, supply, elasticity, utility MO. So today we shift to other half of economics, macroeconomics. So while micro looks at individuals, firms and markets, macro looks at the economy as a whole. So the big picture, like national income, inflation, unemployment, growth and trade. So before we dive into complex models, we must first build our macro dictionary, the essential terms. So dear students, the first term is GDP, gross domestic product. So GDP is the total value of all goods and services produced in a country in 1 year. So it's the most common measure of economic performance. So if GDP is rising, economy is growing. If GDP is falling, economy is shrinking. So students, for example, Pakistan's GDP is around $376 billion in 2023, while India's is over $3 trillion. So this shows the size difference between economies. The second term is inflation. Inflation, as you know, is a sustained increase in general price level. For example, if bread cost rupee 500 last year and rupee 60 this year, it means inflation is 20%. And a little inflation is normal, but too much hurts purchasing power. So, for example, in Pakistan, food inflation has been a major concern, sometimes crossing 40% in 2023. Now, fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is when the government uses spending and taxation to influence the economy. Like increasing spending can create jobs, and increasing taxes can reduce inflation. For example, Pakistan's government increasing development spending on infrastructure to create employment opportunities. Now the other important term is monetary policy. Students, monetary policy is controlled by the State Bank of Pakistan or central bank. It uses interest rate and money supply to control inflation and stabilize growth. For example, SBP raising interest rates to 22% in 2023 to fight inflation. Now the other term is exchange rate. An exchange rate is the price of one currency in terms of another. For example, today one United States dollar equal 290 Pakistani rupee. So if the rupee depreciates, imports become expensive, but exports may become more competitive. Now the other term is balance of payments. So dear students, the balance of payments records all financial transactions between our country and the rest of the world. So it includes imports and exports of goods, services like tourism, IT exports and financial flows, foreign investments. And for example, Pakistan often runs a current account deficit because imports are higher than exports. So dear students, today we build the macro dictionary. We know GDP, inflation, unemployment, fiscal policy, monetary policy, recession, exchange rate and balance of payments. So in the next lecture, we will take one of these, starting with GDP and national income accounting, and go deeper into how it is measured and why it matters.